Okay guys, so we got a possum in the snare over here, and we're going to do a little demonstration with this guy, so stay with me. Okay, I really don't have anything to block the wind today, so I'm just going to take my hat off and have total hat head here, but I want to get this possum wrangled up and show you how to keep him alive if you don't have a cage or anything, at least to get him into your backpack and stuff and get him out of there without getting chewed up too bad. So I'm going to put my hat over the mic because I know it's windy out today. Alright, hopefully you guys can still hear everything I'm saying. You can see he's in here pretty deep and he's neck caught, and if I drag him out of here, figure out where he's hung at, figure out where the bottom of my snare line's at. It's over here, buried right here. So that's what I want to really get to first, is that. If I pull that out, set the stake aside, now he's got this snare wrapped around this about a dozen times, it looks like. And this is what happens with these cable snares. That's why usually they're trash after the first time you use them, because even a good snare like this one, you know, he's got this thing just beat the crap around these branches, and I'm gonna have a heck of a time getting it off of here. And when I do get it off, it's probably not going to be worth using again. Okay, so now we got our possum here. We grab him by the scruff, he can't get to us, and then we can loosen that lock that's on that snare. But you can see how twisted up that is. When I take it off his head, that snare's gone. It's done. You're not going to use that snare again for anything. Okay? Now you can see how he's tucked his head to be protective there. He ain't after me at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get some bank line that I have in my pocket and just lay him down here and hold him by the tail for a minute, figuring he's going to play dead anyway. Tie a loop in my bank line just like this, and then stick it through there to make a noose of sorts. And then I'm going to take his back legs and try to pull him up through this noose. And you can see he's trying to climb up there. If he tries to climb up too much, I'll just use my boot to block him. All I really want to do is get this noose around both of his feet at the same time. His back feet, and pull him through as best I can, just like this. You can see he thinks he's coming up here, but he's not. I can shake him right down, not a problem. And I got to get this up over his haunches here to get it tight. Okay, now I've got him noosed and he can't go anywhere. I've got a noose around both his feet, right underneath the side there. And I'm not trying to cut off his circulation or cause him any pain, but this is going to keep him from getting to me. This line that I've got in my hand, just put a loop in it. Just tie another loop in the line, just like this. Okay, so once I've got that smaller noose tied, just like this, now I've got another slip knot. Now I'm just going to pick up old Mr. Possum here and feed this right over his head and under his jaw. And then I'm going to proceed to pull that whole thing tight, just like that. And now I can carry him out of here, just like this, and he's not going anywhere. If I want to put him in my pack or whatever the case may be, he's not going to open his mouth to get to me now, because he's got that noose slipped up right around the bottom of his neck, up on his jawline, and his back feet are tied, so he's kind of hog-tied right now. Now I can take him and handle him pretty easy. Just take this rope and wrap it around his snout a couple of times so he can't open his mouth, just like that. Okay? And now I'm going to dispatch this animal because that's what I have to do by law, and we're eating good. Okay guys, well, our possum's been dispatched, and understand that, number one, maybe a few days or a week or two before I post this video up, and I may not even post it. I want to make sure that nobody thinks I was being cruel to that animal. You know, he was caught in a snare, he was caught alive. He was neck caught, but he was still alive when I got to him. I pulled him out of the snare, and yes, I hog-tied him, if that's what you want to call it, but I didn't do it out of cruelty, and I didn't leave him that way very long. I did it as a demonstration really quick to show you what you could do to take live food back to your camp in an emergency survival scenario, because live food never spoils. You know, within just a couple minutes, I untied that possum and dispatched him like I'm supposed to, and I want you to understand that you need to respect all wildlife. Everything that you do with animals, you know, you've got to be respectful. If you're going to kill them, you got to do it immediate. Trapping is not something that is cruel to animals. Trapping basically just holds that animal in place. If it's done correctly, unless you're using a body grip trap, which kills them instantly, it basically just holds them in place. It doesn't necessarily injure the animal or cause him to suffer. It might make him stress out. There's no question about that. I'd be stressing out too if something held me in place and I couldn't go anywhere. But the point is, it's not designed to be cruel. It's designed to capture animals and give you food in time of need. Yes, it's used as sport, and it's used for selling, you know, furs and things like that to make people money, but that's part of self-reliance too, and you've got to understand that. Self-reliance means that you feed your family any way that you can. If that means you've got to sell fur to do it, then that's what you do. But there's a lot of meat on these animals that can be eaten, not necessarily on canines or felines and things like that, but you can eat possum, you can eat raccoon. It's not that big of a deal. Actually, I prefer possum over just about any other wild game other than deer. So I appreciate you guys joining me for this video. I thank you for everything that you do for me and for my school. I thank you for everything that you do for my family and for my business. Again, one last look at this snare. You know, this is the reason I say, you know, snaring is not sustainable trapping, because this thing is ruined now. So unless I got a couple hundred of these bad boys, that's not very sustainable. That's why I go with the steel foothold type traps most of the time, or conibears, because they're going to last forever when this thing's not. I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks a lot.